What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so Darth Apocalypse. One of the more surprising developments that we saw over the past couple of months was the deterioration in relationship between Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics organization, which ultimately led to him being traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. And um, as far as the motivations, as far as trading him, uh, more than likely, in my opinion, it has to do with the new collective bargaining agreement and teams not wanting to pay these players these huge exorbitant contracts. Got to remember, Jaylen Brown was making $300 million in excess. Tatum's contract totaled 314 or 15 million. So if you're the Boston Celtics, you come up with a bullshit reason to get rid of him, right? You make it about analytics. You make it about the fact that he thinks he's smart. He doesn't smile and make others feel good about themselves. I mean, complete bullshit feminized reasons to get rid of somebody, right? But there's also been speculation that there had been a deterioration in relationship between Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right? And the biggest sign of that was Jayson Tatum's complete silence during this entire situation. Plus, there had always been some rumors that Stephen A. Smith and some of these other people, Kendrick Perkins, for example, there had always been these rumors that one of the unnamed sources or the main unnamed source for Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins had always been Jayson Tatum himself. Well, the speculation is going to run even more rampant because of something that Jayson Tatum said at a basketball camp the other day that almost clearly was directed toward Jaylen Brown.
Being a leader doesn't mean you know it all, right? I don't know it all. I'll be the first person to say that. Being a leader is being comfortable with raising your hand like, Michelle, I don't know, can you explain that to me? I don't know X, Y, and Z. I want to learn, right? Somebody, being around somebody that feel like they know it all, I don't want to be around that person, right? I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to learn from somebody else.
So, if you weren't able to hear that, basically he says being a leader means to admit when you don't know something, not being afraid to ask questions, etc., etc. Then he said something to the extent of, I've been around people who think they know everything. You know, I don't want to be around people who think they know everything. I'm not afraid to learn. I don't know what's a clearer indication that Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown were not on good terms by the end of their tenure together, which is a shame because they won a championship together. Um, you know, when you think about it, Stephen A. Smith kind of told on himself about Jayson Tatum because when he was going on his back and forth with Jaylen Brown, he seemed too cocky in it, as if I know I got somebody significant on my side in this situation. When he referenced Jayson Tatum's never been on your podcast, on your Twitch stream, I should say. Uh, when he would say things like, Jayson Tatum's number one guy in that organization. You better believe that. It's kind of like he kind of was almost telling on himself a little bit then that Either he's being pushed by the Celtics organization on behalf of Tatum to crap on Jaylen Brown, or pushed him by the NBA or something, or his bosses, or if Tatum himself is communicating with these guys. And look, my thing about this is I don't know all the inner outings of the Boston Celtics organization, but I do know that based upon what I've seen, I think they're a shit organization. I've seen how they treated Jayson. I see how they treated Jaylen Brown. I see how they treated the whole Ime Udoka situation. I looked at how they treated Isaiah Thomas, who sacrificed so much for them, but they showed no loyalty in return. So at the end of the day, I don't side with Boston when it comes to any of these types of situations. When it comes to Jayson Tatum, all I'm gonna say is, so what if he thinks he's smart? I forgot. Negroes can't be smart. We're only good at playing basketball, football, and having sex with white women. Anything other than that, we can't do. We can't articulate ourselves. We're ignorant. We're dumb. We can't swim. We can't play golf. What else we can't do? Our tax credits are low. We consistently make less money. Our IQs are low. All these other things we're supposed to be. If we don't fall into line with that, then we're a problem. Apparently, everybody else can be smart except for us. You never hear, man, that brother's a genius. I'll hear all day, Chris Farley's a genius. Thomas Edison was a genius. George Washington was a genius. Donald Trump is a genius. But if I say Jaylen Brown's a smart guy, it's somehow offensive to people. Well, wait a minute now. You're not giving credit to Jayson Tatum. Why do I have to amend or augment any credit I give a brother by also giving credit to somebody that you want me to give credit to? And by last I checked, Jayson Tatum is black too. So what is it? Is it a colorism thing going on here? I don't know. I think personally that it could be a case of envy or insecurity playing a role here. Jaylen Brown did win Finals MVP. I may be wrong. Maybe I am. Maybe I missed it somewhere. But did Jayson Tatum ever speak out about Jaylen Brown not being on the Olympic team? Let me see if I can find anything. Let's see. Nope. I didn't think he did. He never spoke out about that. About Jaylen Brown not being on the Olympic team. He did complain about not getting minutes, but he never spoke out about Jaylen Brown not even being on the team. Um, then, of course, this past year, with him sidelined with the Achilles rupture, a team that most people thought was going to be in the play-in tournament at best, made it to the second spot in the Eastern Conference. And Jaylen Brown received absolutely really minimum credit for that. Most of the credit I saw went to Joe Mazzulla. I saw some people crediting the others who stepped up, but they did not want to give credit to Jaylen Brown. But they did want to give all the blame on the blown 3-1 lead on Jaylen Brown. So that tells me that he's not well liked. Why? Because he's uppity because he makes people uncomfortable with his rhetoric. But at the same time, I've seen people say JJ Redneck thinks he's the smartest person in the room. I've seen the same people say that JJ Redneck, makes people uncomfortable. He asks weird questions and try to make everybody feel like they're stupid. And he's not a nice guy. And on top of that, multiple allegations of him being a racist or bigoted, all covered up by the media. As a matter of fact, there's more controversy about Jaylen Brown thinking that he's smart. Think about this. There's more controversy about Jaylen Brown thinking he's smart than it was JJ Redneck calling a billion Chinese people the equivalency of the N-word to their culture and their people. The NBA covered that shit up. It's on video. Not hearsay. It's on video, JJ Redneck saying it. And did you hear a peep about it from big-lipped ass Stephen A. Smith or that bubbling cauldron of burps and farts, Kendrick Perkins? No. You didn't hear anything from them. Molly Curran, nobody said anything about it. The NBA covered it up. But they wanted to raise such a stink about an email that Kyrie Irving, another smart brother, shared online about a documentary movie that probably none of them watched. So I feel like this. Jayson Tatum, all eyes are going to be on the Philadelphia 76ers, obviously. But I know another thing. My eyes are going to be on those Boston Celtics. And since you are the better of the two, since I keep hearing that, I expect you to lead them to a top 2 finish in the Eastern Conference. I expect it. I don't want to hear no fucking excuses because Boston, without you, for the most part, matter of fact, they were playing better before you came back, were second seed in the East without you. So I don't want to hear nothing about, what's it called? I don't give a damn. And, unless Tatum himself is hurt, I expect them to get a top 2 finish like they did. Since he's better, as a matter of fact, since he's better, they should finish top seed in the East. But let's see if y'all have the same smoke, which I know y'all won't. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.